Have you ever been worried about going bald while having dreadlocks? Or the ultimate, like, am I thinning question? People are pulling apart their parting, worried about them thinning. A lot of people overthink this scenario, and half the time it's not even the case. But there are people out there that are actually balding or bald with dreadlocks, and it doesn't deter them from having an exceptional dreadlock journey. Going on, this is that guy. My name is Not Locks. This is Not Nation, and today I wanted to talk and show you guys about some dreadlocks that are still being lock committed and still staying dreadicated regardless of their pattern baldness. Now, without further ado, let's jump into this. And we got this first man's here. It says bald on top, dreadlocks on the side, leave a bit in the middle. These photos I found here on Reddit. Now, I did not take these pictures, and I find it kind of weird that sometimes people will snap photos of others in public to post online later in attempts to humiliate somebody, and it's disrespectful to do that. So I'm standing up for these individuals here today, and I am encouraging people to grow their dreads regardless of their pattern baldness. And this guy's got some serious confidence, or as I say, lockfidence, to be able to rock the balding locks with one lock still on the front of his head right there. Very cool. And the thing why I love balding dreadlocks is because when you still wear a tam, it can still fill up the locks and the hair. It can still fill up the hat with locks, and it's pretty much not recognizable when a hat is on. Or if you're wearing a baseball cap as well, still looks good. And in this case here, he's just letting them rock freely. So I mean, more power to the mans here. More power to him. And it's guys like this that spread the most, I want to say that they spread the most positive vibes. They spread the most awareness. They spread the most joy that people can attain in showing that, like, yo, I can grow my locks freely and not care what people think about me. And we need more of this in the world. We definitely need more of being carefree. So this man here is asking if he's balding or is this alopecia. Now, not nearly as progressed as the previous photo, but we can see that there is some pattern baldness happening here. Not sure if it would be alopecia from over tightening tension on the sections of this hair or on the scalp, but it could just be male pattern baldness coming into play. Now, is it fixable? The biggest thing one can do in trying to fix this problem is to stop getting them maintained. Stop retwisting, especially over tightening if you're doing it quite often. Let it just grow in and do its own thing naturally. And as they get longer, you're going to be able to kind of create more of a comb over or a lock over. In this case, where the locks will kind of grow longer and you can cover that spot a lot easier. So some people in the comments here saying, unfortunately, it is baldness coming into play, but really only time can tell. Best thing you can do is still keep your hair clean, keep your fingers out of your hair, and don't tighten them so that you can actually allow your scalp to breathe a lot more. Now here we got a quick video on a loctician twisting somebody's hair and realizing that it was really thin after she had twisted it. So in fact, that doesn't even look too bad, but the fact that this lady is twisting it and tightening it and pulling on it despite it being a very thin lock doesn't help the situation at all. So really it should just be left alone or combined into a lock close by. Now here we got a picture balding and thinning locks, a little bit worse than the second guy but not as bad as the first guy. So this is a bit more advanced than that second gentleman that was showing his locks on here. on a lighter hair type as well. Lighter meaning like a lower number. You know, this is just like the beginning stages. It looks like the sections really opened up on his scalp, but it doesn't look like he's really twisting his locks at all at this point. You know, this definitely looks like male pattern baldness. He's allowing the growth to come in naturally and not maintaining it, so that's some good news for it. And you can see here that, you know, the roots are a little bit thinner, but there's still a lot of strength in that root. Now, truthfully, you're gonna want to stop pulling up your hair like that and testing it. I know in dire times like this, when someone's worried about their hairline, they tend to play with the hair a lot more, and that's got to stop. Just let it be. And we can see that, you know, some of these locks are still trying to congo up with one another, so we definitely want to allow that to happen and let that progression take place naturally. And it should prolong the issue. And as your locks get longer and they start to drop more in front of your face, you can flip them back, and it will cover that spot actually. So it would be good. He says he's concerned if his dreads are thinning or balding. I've had dreads of all different sizes, and each one of my dreads probably around 3 to 4 inches of new growth. He never retwists. You've always had fine hair, but I've been either wearing a hat or wearing my hair in a super loose ponytail for a year straight. So that's an issue right there. Ponytails are no, especially for a year straight. It definitely seems like it was causing thinning. Does it look like thinning, or is it different size dreads or new growth making my scalp show like this? I started these semi-free forms, so the parts of my head have always been iffy. Definitely looks like balding. Are you stressed? Hope you're getting the help you need. Shampoo every 2 weeks. Oil and spray locks with water. So he's saying that it quite possibly could be related to stress, and that is another factor that could cause this in one's life. So just make sure that you're doing what you can to alleviate stress in one's life. Exercise, drinking water, meditation, prayer. Here's another question here. Another one questioning if they're balding or not. You know, kind of looks very similar to the last dude we were just looking at. He's kind of got one lock right on the front. You know, one lock, 2 locks on the front with a big parting right in the middle. This guy looks like he's been using the crochet hook quite often and has some pretty big sections going on. So again, stop maintaining. Crochet hooks definitely tear away roots and tear away strands of hair from the root, so you want to be aware of that happening. Looks like they're thinning because there's too much tension. Give your scalp time to relax and no retwisting for anything. The man's really feeling like his locks have got to go. Another one of those photos where someone's creeping and lurking on somebody else and posting pictures of them without them realizing they're going to the internet. This being like crazy actually. These are really interesting. Now, there's lots of songs, Bob Marley, Bunny Wailer, Peter Tosh, where they talk a lot about bald heads. And this has got to be one of the shiniest bald heads I've seen with locks. But yet, the man still got the longest rat tail I've seen in this situation. And I respect this. I respect this a lot. You know, it's long hair, don't care. And this lock is probably over 10 years old. Definitely looks pretty free-formed as well, and it's pretty cool, to be honest. I would send no shade. I mean, I don't send shade to people regardless, but this man deserves no shade for rocking this hair how he wants to rock it. Who knows his spiritual connection with this? Taking a rat tail to the next level. This is called a dread tail. It's not even a rat tail. This is a dread tail. This is insane. Very cool, man. That's pretty dope. Pretty impressive. Okay, here's another one asking, am I balding? Really need help to see if I am. Really need help, and if I am, is there anything I can do to fix this? The only area that looks like this. People have such bad grammar on Reddit sometimes. Punctuation. Very slightly. I would say this is very slight beginning stages of the balding. It looks like maybe one lock could be missing from that area. I don't think it's much to worry about right now. Just keep on keeping, in a sense, keep those locks growing. He's free forming them, so just let them keep doing their thing. Once these two locks at the front grow out longer, it's going to be real easy to hide that and flip it back over top. And you know, as we've seen in the last man with the master Dreadtail, just embrace what you got. There's no big worry. People don't need to stress out about these sort of situations. I feel just do your best to take care of what you got, because it might be the last moment where you have this much hair. Definitely prolong this from happening by doing what we can to keep our hair and our scalp healthy. Now here is this one was pretty interesting actually. So reading it at first, he says, I need advice. Noticed some balding a couple months ago and a couple thinning dreads, which I had to cut off. My hair was very thick and healthy, but then a couple months I stopped taking proper care, like no bonnet when he's sleeping, no oiling, washing very infrequently, which is every 2 months, and constantly scratching his scalp. So definitely all those are gonna cause your hair to downgrade. Like, first of all, when the first locks were thinning, they shouldn't have been cut off. They should have been combined together with another lock to create more strength. Wearing no bonnet to bed can also create unnecessary friction on your locks at nighttime. No oiling is going to mean your hair is very dry, meaning easier for friction to break your strands of hair. Washing it very infrequently means that your hair is going to create more buildup, which means it's going to get itchier, and which was leading him to itch his hair a lot. And when one has their nails constantly itching their scalp, that tends to wear out as well and can break strands of hair on the root. So no wonder this has kind of happened. It was all definitely preventable, which he seems to be very aware of. And we can see how it's kind of forming like a T section across the top of the back of his head down the front center. And he is looking like he's twisting these locks as well. So he's gonna want to stop twisting them, which it seems like he has for quite a bit, because the new growth has started to come in flat, but some of them are still kind of like twisted around the root. And that's how they were looking like. This is how they were looking like before. So that was the before, and this is the after. They have definitely taken a toll. Yeah, it could have been preventable. And I even feel like rocking hairstyles like this, they don't help with preventing baldness. Like, if anything, this is just unnecessary tension as well. In my eyes, a waste of money and very painful depending on how tight it gets done. I mean, all he can really do at this point is kind of reverse his regiment, do everything that's kind of gonna prolong his lock journey, which is the opposite of what he's been doing, or start over. I mean, starting over is definitely not the easiest thing to do all the time, but it might be needed to give your scalp that breather, in a sense. And we've the guy that made this, I don't know his name, Texas Man Weave Master. Anyways, that's about it. I think it was pretty interesting diving into the bald head dreadlock game. I'm happy to those people that are embracing it and letting their roots still grow out. That's all you can really do, man. Just, you know, rock them till the wheels fall off. Or you can say lock them till the wheels fall off. It's one of the best ways. Anyways, I'm gone. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment. Just say hello. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
The nation.